If you were told that you only had a couple of months to live, how would you want to spend your last moments alive? Some of us would want to go to Disneyland, others would want to go skydiving, others would maybe want to spend every last moment with their family. No matter what you choose, it should ultimately be your choice, right? Assisted suicide should be legal because it saves us time and money, it prevents us from committing suicide, and it should just ultimately be your choice. Just last year, according to the U.S. National Bankruptcy, $500 was considered too expensive for the average American as a medical bill. 45% of us would have trouble paying that, 19% of us wouldn't be able to pay it at all, and 20% of us would just put it on a credit card. Imagine thinking about that during your last final moments of life. Nobody wants to be thinking about that. According to a 60-minute story about the cost of dying, just last year we spent $55 billion on having someone who was diagnosed with a terminal illness hospitalized for their last 2 months of their lives. $55 billion, and that was just spent on money to pay the doctors and for certain treatments. Normally, it costs $10,000 a day to keep someone in the ICU. Imagine if we would allow someone the opportunity to decide to not even go through any of those treatments and end their life when they were diagnosed. We would be saving that money, that time that those doctors were spent extending those patients' lives for a week could be used to help someone else down the road and extend their lives for years because they're not diagnosed with something that's terminal. And I'm not saying we should just go kill anybody who has a terminal illness. No, nothing like that. We should just allow someone to have the choice. Me personally, if I was diagnosed with something that was terminal, I would want to end my life before I had the chance to suffer. Imagine having to build up the courage to commit suicide because you were diagnosed with something terminal. Imagine wanting to do that on your own because you didn't want to go through all the pain that you're going to go through with this illness. If you were given the choice to end it and someone do it for you, someone who is educated, someone who has knowledge about that, you would even feel more confident. You could speak to your family members about it. You could come to an agreement, and instead of grabbing a gun and doing something horrible, you would be able to go peacefully. You would be able to go whenever you desired to. Your family would be prepared for it. You wouldn't have to continue to go through all that suffering. Everybody should get to choose. Everybody. If you were diagnosed with something terminal, you should be able to choose how you want to spend the last moments of your life. You shouldn't have to be hooked up to a machine and have your family remember you as someone who was suffering and couldn't talk or couldn't eat or couldn't use the restroom by yourself. It should ultimately just be your choice. I would rather have someone who is educated and a professional do this for me than me have to build the courage to do it myself. Quotes from someone who is diagnosed with a terminal illness is, I'm not committing suicide and I don't want to die. I was upset by media reports that I intended to kill myself. I am not killing myself. Bone cancer is taking care of that. I may take the option of shortening me the agony of my family's hours. That was Jack Newbold, who had bone cancer. Another one is Louise Schaefer. She says, all I am asking for is to have some choice over how I die. Portraying me as suicidal is disrespectful and hurtful to me. My loved ones, it adds an insult to injury, body dismissal, all of it. I have already endured the failure attempts for a cure, the progressive decline of my physical state, and the anguish that has involved exhaustive reflection and contemplation, leading me to this very personal, intimate decision about my own life and how I choose to end it. We're not asking to do anything out of the ordinary. We're just asking to give yourself the choice. Make the choice to have the choice. Assisted suicide should be legal for all those reasons.